Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. I'm here to do a video about Megan the Stallion's performance last night at SNL's return to the television. SNL, like all TV shows, took a break during this COVID season, and they finally returned to television last night, and they returned in a really big way. They opened up with the cold open of a parody of the Donald Trump Joe Biden debate from last Tuesday. And this debate was hilarious. I mean, as usual, Donald Trump was played by Alec Baldwin, but Joe Biden was played by Jim Carrey. And Kamala Harris was played by Maya Rudolph. Kamala Harris has been portrayed by Maya Rudolph before in other parodies last year during the Democratic primaries. But Jim Carrey was new to this. And it's interesting because Jim Carrey in the 90s was on the rival to um, SNL in Living Color. So if Joe Biden does win the election in November, I'm pretty sure he'll return to playing the role of President Biden on a regular. And it was so funny because, like, you had Trump arguing back and forth with Jim Carrey, and then finally Maya Rudolph came out, and she was like, um, "What America needs is a WAP, a woman as president," and she basically tried to quiet down Biden and Trump. And you had Trump in this moment where he mentions the Proud Boys and he gives the OK sign, which is a sign for white supremacy. It stands for it's okay to be white. And, basically mocking what Trump and Biden were doing. And then they press the mute button on Trump. And then Biden says, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but what if, suggesting that he might get COVID. And as we know, Trump in real life did actually contract COVID. So SNL was on the roll with their predictions. But in Meg Thee Stallion's performance, speaking of WAP, like many people say, oh, WAP was Cardi's song, but actually Meg was on it too. um, she did a stellar performance, and it helped catapult her song "Don't Stop" to the featuring Young Thug to the top of the charts. And like I always said on this channel, I like Megan. I like her music, and one of my highest videos is talking about her and the Tory Lanez shooting. And I said in the video that one of the most important things to do is to advocate for the lives of black women in society. And that's exactly what Meg does in this performance. She has a huge thing come out, and it says, um, justice for black women, or something along those lines. And um, it was really good. And I didn't really get a chance to check out Chris Rock. He was the host of it, and that's cool too because Chris Rock is a former SNL alum from the '90s. But politically, SNL got in kind of trouble here in New York because they weren't supposed to have an audience and they were actually selling tickets to their performance. But Governor Cuomo put the kibosh on that, and it was just the people in the audience. But I enjoyed it. I love when they do their political parodies. Their political parodies, of course, go all the way back to the 1970s with Chevy Chase playing Gerald Ford. Um, Phil Hartman actually portrayed Ronald Reagan. Dana Carvey, of course, portrayed Bush. Uh, Senior Jay Farrell portrayed Barack Obama. Will Ferrell portrayed um, George W. Bush. Like their parodies go way back to back in the day, and they always pretty much are spot on. President Trump really doesn't like them, babe, because Alec Baldwin does such a great job, tremendous job lampooning, President Trump. But SNL is not always so funny, but in this episode, they really did their thing in covering this debate. But the sad part was, as funny as SNL sketch was, the real sketch was far more funnier and sadder because it's reality. You know what I mean? Like, we have Donald Trump, a clown, in office. And it's just like, all right, could he get any, like, his whole presidency has been comic fodder for comedians. But really, what I wanted to talk about too was the stance that Meg took. And I'm glad she took this stance because her stance was not just for herself, but justice for Breonna Taylor. Um, in the wake of the verdict that Breonna received, and how the cops had gotten off for that bullshit that I posted about in my other video about Breonna Taylor. Go back and look at it in the archives. But it was a really political themed SNL um, episode, and I enjoyed it, especially her performance. Peace.